What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and today we're checking out the new Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup, and more specifically the Ultra. I'm here to show you guys the smartphones, talk about some of the new features, as well as attend the launch event in San Francisco. And this year, the talk is about the cameras, namely the main camera being up to 200 megapixels in its resolution, as well as great low light images, up to 8K resolution when it comes to video, as well as the same 10x optical zoom camera, which is a feature that I love to see in smartphones, especially with all the travel that we're doing and the landscapes that we're trying to capture. You've also got some new colors, a refined form factor, as well as a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor made for Samsung, as well as a new generation of Corning glass that brings you the strongest level of durability when it comes to drops and scratches. So let's go ahead and take a look. So here we are taking a look at the 4 different color options available in the Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup this year, including lavender, green, which looks really interesting, as well as cream and phantom black. Honestly, when it comes to the color selections, I would say that green is definitely one that is worth checking out, and it's interesting to see what the trends are when it comes to colors each year. For a little bit, it was a dark blue, then it was a light blue, eventually became green, and then purple, but it seems like this year you have the option between like a lighter lavender that is a lot lighter than some of the purples that we saw last year, and the green is making a return, and honestly, it's kind of been my favorite color lately. So the biggest feature in this year's new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra flagship, in my opinion, is the 200 megapixel primary camera. It's an f1.7 aperture, and it will give you better low light performance in both photo and video, and it's a jump from 108 megapixels on last year's S22. It'll take photos in an adaptive 4:1 or 16:1 pixel binning resolution, giving you a finished photo output of either a 50 megapixel photo or 12.5 megapixels, which is the typical size of a smartphone camera photo, which is going to be good for most photos that you take. But in the scenarios that you want more resolution when it comes to cropping or editing or being able to print the photos out, having the options to take the photo in 50 and 200 megapixels gives you a ton of flexibility. The ultra-wide camera is 12 megapixels, and the dual telephoto cameras, including the 3x and the 10x, are 10 megapixels in resolution, and the main camera is capable of recording video at 8K 30, which is up from 8K 24 on the last generation S22. With the main focus being on the main 200 megapixel sensor, I'm really excited to test those out, but the other cameras also saw some improvements when it comes to software optimizations, similar to what you've seen in the iPhone lineup, where the sensor hardware was actually very similar, if not the same, but some of the image signal processing has definitely come a long way and improved, especially in low light. So here's the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra in the green color, which I absolutely love. But in terms of the form factor, it features the same 6.8-inch Quad HD Plus display. It looks incredible, but most importantly, I love how it is more flat along the sides. It really gives you a good amount of grip for a smartphone of the size, and of course, you also have the S Pen. This display allows you to enjoy games, multimedia, and some of the demonstrations that we've checked out today have all been a lot of fun. And if you're looking for the ultimate smartphone when it comes to the most incredible display that reaches a high peak brightness, allows you to watch all of your favorite movies in HDR, as well as being able to consume the content that you captured in either 8K or in the full resolution of 200 megapixels, this is a smartphone to do it. This year's Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup also goes with all Qualcomm processors. These are the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2s that have been created in conjunction with Samsung to give you an optimal clock speed and performance possible for this new lineup. This new Gen 2 is engineered for faster AI performance, faster graphics rendering, a new ISP, as well as improved 5G performance and support for up to Wi-Fi 7. Performance on smartphones have already been very good, so there hasn't had to be a huge jump when it comes to benchmark and spec increase. However, when it comes to optimizations in the battery performance as well as efficiency, this is an area that we continue to see improvements, and the thermals are also something to pay attention to. With all the features packed in here and the brand new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor that is a 4nm infrastructure, this phone also features the same 5000 milliamp hour battery that you found in previous generations. Battery life is always extremely important, and with processors becoming more efficient while still delivering incredible amounts of power that are continuing to improve each year, it really allows you to enjoy all of what this phone is able to offer. The Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup is also going to be the first to use Corning's new Gorilla Glass Victus 2. It is our new top line of protective glass, and it has the same scratch resistance as previous generations, but will have improved drop and shatter resistance, specifically when it comes to asphalt and concrete, which is always very difficult because there are so many sharp edges. The claim of the Victus 2 is that it can survive drops of up to 1 meter on concrete-like surfaces and up to 2 meters on asphalt. The Victus 2 is also more focused on environment and more sustainable than ever before, which is something that the Samsung Galaxy lineup as a whole has continued to push improvements towards. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for joining me in this experience and early hands-on at the Samsung store in San Francisco. I'm really excited to be back here after a couple years, and hope you guys enjoyed this video about the new Samsung Galaxy S23 lineup, and more specifically the Ultra. And if you guys have any questions, drop them down below, and I'll see you all in the next one.